At the risk of sounding a little too smug, I think what the world needs now is greater confidence. We're in a confidence business, and what the world needs is greater certainty about direction, both at a, I'll call it a political and a macro level, as well as an operational level. I think today, there's too much uncertainty about what banks can and cannot do. There's too much uncertainty of how governments will or will not respond, and to me, we need to be able to move through that. Businessmen want to have certainty before they make investment decisions. Banks want to have certainty before they lend, and absent that, there will be a much slower growth with potentially negative implications for society in general and the communities we operate in.
I think the biggest obstacle is culture or people's overall behavior or nature to react to crisis, and sometimes stay in silos and not share knowledge and information, and hesitancy to adopt new technologies.
I would let me say, if I take Sri Lanka, I would say cross-border financing or funds, obtaining of funds or fund management.
Just ongoing lack of coordination, I think, across many countries and jurisdictions. Whilst we don't necessarily lurch from crisis to crisis, I think it's quite clear that a lot of the industry bodies, politicians, and countries are really struggling to solve problems that have been going for many years now. So I think it's just general instability and lack of coordination. I think the uncertainty is here for many years.
That's an interesting question. At the moment, there is not, so the stability is a little bit rattled. And I think the biggest obstacle to that global stability has to be politics. Many financial institutions are subject to what the regulators want in a country, what politicians want in a country. And I think particularly in the emerging markets, and we have some very large emerging markets at the moment, that may be at some point provide some threats to global financial stability. If you look at China, China of course is a powerhouse. Also financially it has become a powerhouse. There is some transparency as to how stable the financial system is in China, but I wouldn't be surprised, many people that have experience in China wouldn't be surprised if things are not entirely the way we think they are. When China starts to get into a problem, then probably Asia will start running into problems, and that'll affect Europe, and that'll affect the US as well. And of course we still have Europe. It looks like the politicians have found some agreement as to how they're going to tackle the crisis, but it's still early days. So stability has been restored a little bit. But we still have to see whether that's going to hold and whether everybody's going to live up to the agreement that has been made between the politicians. So I think from my point of view, it's not so much technical, it's much more the political risk.